Welcome everybody to the team call tonight. It is Monday, May 18th. We have a super exciting guest tonight. Cassy is here. She is a one-star diamond. And speaking of, since we just kicked off the retreat push today, for everyone who's pushing for the retreat, this is where I met Cassy last year at our team retreat in Destin. And what's so cool about going on these retreats is that you get to be surrounded by people that you may not ordinarily know, right? Like we are in different teams, essentially, you know, all under Fit and Fierce, but on different branches. And it was really, really cool to get to know her. She's a mom of 2 adorable boys and just slaying her business. So she's here to share her knowledge with us and her passion. And I'm so excited to hear from her. So let's give her the stage. I'm going to mute myself. Go ahead, Cassy.
What's up, you guys? Thank you for that intro. You're so sweet. You guys seriously have one of the best leaders, the most consistent, the nicest, the funniest, the most down to earth. You guys have it made here. So thank you guys for letting me pop on here. So what I'm going to do is share just a little bit of my story, kind of how I got started. And then like my big topic tonight was investing in those that have invested in me. And then I've got a couple other things that I mentioned on a team call last week that I've just kind of picked up on within the last like 6 months. So I want to share those with you guys too. So a little bit about me. So I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 little boys, like Melissa said. One is 4, one is 2. So my journey started so it was 6 weeks postpartum with my second. So I went in for my 6-week checkup and was telling the doctor or the OB what I was feeling. And she immediately was like, here's some Zoloft. And I was like, okay, like that's good. Like this will make me happy. This will kind of help reroute what I'm feeling in this stage of life. Because I don't know how many of you have more than one kid, but I was really regretting having the second kid just because I was like, it was so easy with the first one. Like, what did I do to myself? So, you know, I went to Target that day to fill this prescription up. And this was the one time in my life I was in the Target parking lot and didn't go in. So I just sat there that day and I was like, you know, I'm not really doing anything to better myself at this point. I'm not eating right, and obviously you're not cleared to exercise. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna go home and just try to do this on my own and just kind of see what goes. And like I said, I didn't fill it that day because I personally have close family and friends that have gone down that road, and I wanted it to be something I could fall back on if need be, but I was like, I'm just gonna try something and just see what happens. So like we all do, we're all on social media just scrolling, and then we see somebody working out or looking all cute or fun and happy, and it's just like, well, what is that? And so I reached out to my coach, Sarah Nordman's my coach, and she brought up Beachbody. I don't even remember how the initial conversation went, but I was like, I'm not doing that. It's an MLM. No, thank you. And so then I was just doing things like Pinterest workouts for a while. But those are like, you know, 20 crunches and 20 squats and 20 sit-ups. And it wasn't doing anything, obviously. So like I said, after I reached out to her, it was about another month. I was telling Zach, I was like, I have to do something. And so it was between Beachbody and Next Level Fitness. So Next Level Fitness is a kickboxing place in town, but the time that was available to go was 9 a.m. And that was when my second child would nap. And I was like, I can't miss nap, because if you guys are parents, you know, if you miss a nap, it's just not good. So so then I went with Beachbody, and a week in, I was like, okay, I'm going to coach. This is exactly the platform I want to work upon. I went to school for physical therapy. So I had a passion in like helping others. And so I knew it was what I could work from while staying home. So it was a perfect opportunity, the perfect platform for me to, share anything that I had, inspire women, with kids that, hey, like, we need to be taking care of ourselves. We matter. We're actually, I think women are the most important part of the family. Moms are, because we hold everything together. So I just really wanted that. That's why I got into coaching, because I'm like, I want to help as many people as I can. And the one word that I always stuck with me through the first part of my coaching journey, and still now, is just to inspire. I did not get into it to build a business. Some people do, they see the numbers and the money and they're like, yes, I want to do this. But I just got into it just simply, I wanted to inspire women, like, hey, we need to do this, or we can do this. We matter, kind of thing. So that's kind of how I got started. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So my topic that I've talked about on Super Saturdays, and I've talked about with some push groups through Beachbody, is investing in those that have invested in me. And so what I mean by that is, I'm sure you've heard this term, serving those that are already at your table. So what I've always done, and it's had to be scaled back some, but I've always really dove back into my downline, and not so much just my coaches, my customers as well. So when I first started, when I'd sign somebody up, I would text them like every day to like every other day, like, how was it? How was your workout? How'd it go? And I just loved it, because I wanted to just really be there with them through this whole process. And since it's grown, I've had to really scale that back. And I check in with people once a week. And I've had to alphabetize to the point where it's like, I do A through E on Monday and talk with those girls. But the whole point as to why I love investing in those that have invested in me is because they picked me. There's so many coaches, and it's like, gosh, they picked me, and I need to serve them as best as I can. So like I said, I take it upon myself to really check in with them, like I said, once a week. And in turn, I actually hear so much good from that. I get a lot of fulfillment from that, because I get, if they're struggling with something, I can recommend something for them. Or if they're having a good week, like, I get to hear that, and it really lifts me up. So I've had, I can't even tell you how many women have transferred to me because, when I'm sure you guys have done that. You send an invite and they're like, yeah, I'm a part of Beachbody. And then you say something along the lines of like, how's your challenge group going? Like, who's your coach? Do you work directly with, your coach, or something along those lines? And they're like, well, she signed me up and then just kind of plugged me into a challenge group. And I talked to her once every like 3-4 months, and I'm like, what? And that, it may work for some. I'm not here to judge that, but I just know, I'm like, I want to be better than that. And it really matters to me to really, really be there for them through their journey, wherever it is. So like I said, I don't do it as much as I used to, but I really, really recommend reaching out to your coaches and customers at least once a week. And I honestly value my coaches and customers on the same level. Like, sure, we need coaches because it helps our organization build, and it helps our team build and our volume build and all that stuff. But just because they're paying an extra, $15 a month for that coaching fee and stuff, I don't look at them any higher on a scale than I do my customers. So again, like, you get so much cool feedback from these women when you're checking in with them that much. So that's my big thing I want you guys to take away, is just to make sure you're investing in those that have invested in you, because they picked you to be their leader, to be their coach, to help them on their journey. So help them. I've got Beachbody's mission statement here, and it is, hold on. So the mission statement of Team Beachbody is to help people achieve their goals and live a healthy, fulfilling life. So that right there speaks volumes to me, because it's just so cool what we get to be a part of. And that's our mission statement, is just truly and sincerely helping people wherever they're at to better themselves for the long haul. So that is my big piece I wanted to share with you guys. And I'm so passionate about it. I'm just like, just care about your people and really pour into them and love them, because they picked you out of 400 other 1,000 coaches. It's crazy. You don't think there's anybody out there, but there is. There's so many people, and they need you, and they picked you for a reason. So, really take care of them. So that's my big thing. So these are a couple of the things that I shared last week on a call. And take this for what it is. This isn't, I'm going to say this, how do I want to say this? If what's working for you is working for you, then keep doing that. But kind of viewing my stories and my feed, like I said, within the last 6 months to a year, I've really taken note on some things. And none of this is recommended. Beachbody doesn't, I shouldn't say Beachbody doesn't recommend this, but it's something that you don't hear often. So the first one is, I don't post on my social media every day. I post in my stories. I blow that up big time. And if you guys listened to the wake up call last week, the 9 items that Danny was sharing to be putting in your stories every day is gold. Like, I wrote that down and sent it to my coaches. I was like, okay, this is what we need to be posting in our stories every day. I don't do all of these, but I'm going to start. But what I mean is, I don't post in my feed every day. And why I've done that is, I've noticed when I do that, my engagement has gone up. So when I was posting every single day, I was getting maybe 20 likes, really low engagement. Now I'm posting twice to maybe 3 times a week, and my engagement is up. And I don't know this for a fact. I haven't really asked anybody, why do you like my posts? But I look at it this way, or I thought about it this way, is, so my mom wears her heart on her sleeve, okay? My dad's a more reserved, quiet person. But when he says something, you need to listen and take it for what it is. And so when I see, this is what my vision is, or when I see somebody like scrolling through their feed, when they see me when I'm posting every day, they're going, oh, she's just throwing stuff up. She posts on here every day. But when I don't post like really inspirational things all the time. Some of my stuff's funny, some of it's inspirational, but I want them to stop and be like, okay, she has something to tell me today. And she's not just showing up to throw up stuff on her feed just because. Like, she actually has a message, or, I want to read it, because it's not just all over the place. Again, this is not something that if it's working for you to post every day, then keep doing that. But I've just noticed, for me personally, when I do this, I get way more engagement. So this is the other thing. I don't post a call to action on my posts very much either. And the reason I don't do this is because I don't want people to feel sold to through a call to action post. A lot of people do it. It works well for them. But for me, when I do, like, at the very end, like, hey, drop a heart, or drop your email, or, DM, or send me a DM, or something along those lines, I feel like people look at that and go, okay, like, I'm not going to like this because she's wanting to sell me something. Now, when I don't do that, I get, a lot more engagement. And then I can take that, whoever likes that or comments on that, into a separate message thread. So that's not something that you hear very much, but I like to make sure people don't feel like they're being sold to on my feed, but I take all those conversations elsewhere and have that more intimate conversation. So those are the 2 big things that you don't hear often, but I've noticed. So my last thing is, I kind of mentioned this with my big takeaway from this call, is I share everybody on my social media. So I obviously share new coach announcements on my stories, but what I've started doing this year is I've been sharing women that are re-signing up for a year, or they are a new challenger. And I ask them before I do this, and it's crazy. Like you would think when they're not a coach, but they're okay with like, all my customers are okay with like being shouted out on social media. So I shout all of them out on social media, and I just, again, I feel like everyone to me is valued the same. So I want to shout them out all the same as I do my new coaches. Like, again, our coaches are important, but I want all of my women that join me to feel like they all matter on some level. And they're all the same to me, whether they're a coach or they're a challenger or renewing for a year. So I think that's all. Oh, my last question. Do you guys have a CRM that you guys use that you really like? Here, maybe, see, let's raise your hand if you have like Streak or
Oh.
Oops. What's it doing? So maybe let me just share my screen here. So I found a CRM that is super good. I've tried Teamsy, I've tried Streak, but I just wanted one that was like really super simple and that just, I could just put a name into and when I needed to follow up with them next. So like I said, let me try and share my screen here. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure this out. Okay.
What does CRM stand for? Customer. I don't know.
That's bad. Okay. Whoops. Wait, host disabled participant screen sharing. So maybe I can't share it with you.
Oh, maybe
guys.
I have to make you a host. How do I do that? Oh, I can do that. Hang on. I'll make host. There we go.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. Share. Okay, so can you guys see this? Okay, so this is the tracking system that I use. So the reason I really like it is, again, you just throw the names in there and they alphabetize them for you. And then all I do is when I have a new lead or someone's like, hey, like now's not a good time, maybe follow up with me in a month, I can put in their like task follow-up thing, just like when obviously these ones are overdue or they haven't gotten back to me, so that looks bad. But so it shows, I get an email every single morning with who I need to reach out to that day. So it just really takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and I don't have to think, I don't lose people this way, I guess. Like I said, I tried Streak, I tried Teamsy, and I just felt like I was so disorganized and I was losing people. I've tried pen and paper. And again, if you have something that works, then just keep rolling with it. But this is the one I found that it's so easy. You don't have to put much into it. You just put their name and you put in the follow-up date, and then it'll send you an email whenever that day comes of who you need to follow up with. And like you can write a little description as to why they didn't join you that month. But like these are all due here soon. I don't know, it's really simple and cool, and I just want to share that with you guys. Okay, I think that's it, guys.
What is that called?
That is called Less Annoying CRM.
I love it. Way to get to the point. Oh, and Megan asked, how do you upload the names? Will it pull from your friends list?
You have to manually type them all in. Go in there and doesn't Teamsy pull them all from Facebook?
Yeah, you can do like that file, whatever it's called. CR, or no, that's not the right one.
it just, yeah, it like downloads all your contacts and stuff. But no, you have to go in and download, or not download, type in everybody. So I mean, the startup process of it takes a while, but once you like get the people in there and you know when you're going to follow up and talk to them, like it's taken a lot of like guesswork and fear of losing people away from this really simple simple app.
Well, I love that because that's exactly why I use my connection builder. If I don't put it into a system and I don't have that to look at every day, I will lose people. And there's nothing more frustrating than that. So I had a couple comments that I just wanted. So the serving people at your table, I love that. And also along those lines, first of all, have you ever read Hug Your Customers? Oh my God, you have to read that. Put that on your PD list. It's such a good book. I read it last year, and it's a clothing a clothing company in Connecticut, actually. But it's all about just taking such good care of the people who are your customers. And this company, down to the people who come in, like they know what shoe size they are, what ties they like to wear, and they would ship suits from Japan if you needed it, or someone who was having a wedding in Japan and they got their stuff to them. And it was just such a good message of taking such good care of your people above and beyond what you need to do. And with growing our social media too, we hear that all the time. Don't be so worried about finding more people that you're out with the dinner table. You have these people over for dinner. Serve them, take care of them, take care of the followers that you have now. Don't go out banging your pots and pans around trying to get more people to come. Take care of the people who you're with. So I love that. And then with the analyzing the different strategies for social media, I think it's so important that no matter what you do, you're analyzing what works for you. So if that's worked for you, that's something you've been tracking, and that that your engagement, that's improved. So it's so important to look at what you're doing, how it's performing. And, if you're not getting a lot of good engagement, you have to figure out why. Why is that? Are you not serving your audience enough, or are you posting too much or not enough, or too many calls to actions, or, who knows? But you have to be aware and figure out what works for your audience.
You're exactly right. And one thing, kind of going off of the first comment, is like, this business is another reason to really invest back into those is like, you have to want to build relationships. That's a big part of this business, is like, you have, and it's a cool thing. Like, if you, like, I obviously stay at home mom, I don't talk to anybody all day. And so for me to have those relationships is so important. So like, this isn't fun if you're not building relationships. So like, really build up who you have. And a lot of my customers have like converted to coaches. And, I kind of reflect on it now, like a lot of my coaches now were like the girls that started with me. And it's like, dang, is that because I was like pouring into them like every single day? Like, there's no way I can do that now. So it's like, how can I like readjust that? So then my girls are still like converting to coaches and stuff, but it's all about building relationships and keeping them, and just, really, really pouring into your team, for sure.
I love that so much. Does anybody have questions?
So I liked your little like A through E Monday. Oh, hi. I missed you.
I miss you too.
I need something like that I can remember who to check in with when. Like, how do you keep track of that? Do you have like a PDF or Excel?
I do Excel. I've got them. Again, that's the brunt of the work, is like getting all of that stuff organized and keeping it organized. But yeah, like A through E on Monday, and it is by last name too. So then I know. But then I also like I'm also wondering how you guys keep track of all of your customers and coaches. So I pull all of them out of Facebook Messenger and Instagram Messenger, and have my one-on-ones through text message. And so I feel like it's more personalized, and then I don't lose them in the shuffle of like all these invites and all these follow-ups I have. They're over in this message thread, and I know any text that I get is from a customer or coach. And so if I need to turn notifications off through Facebook and Instagram, like, I don't have to worry about missing one of my teammates or something. So I pull them all through text messages to keep them organized that way.
Text message.
Yeah. I didn't realize you were on here. I have a small screen right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Any other questions? Well, thank you so much. This was so awesome. I really appreciate you coming and sharing your tips with all of us.
You're so
Last
welcome. I
chance
missed
for
you.
questions. I know. It's so sad that we can't have Summit. Wow. All right, let's do a pick.
Oh, I was like, what? What?
Oh, now they all hop on.
Oh, now they turn their screens on. We see you.
Come on, guys. All right, ready? Cheese. Okay.
Oh, wait. We have to do one more. Wait.
Okay.
Oh,
All
God.
right, I think I'm gonna stop the recording. I think.
Why
it's
is she
safe to do
leaving?
that. I don't know. I'm afraid she's gonna get tequila or something.
That sounds.
Oh, I have to. Can you stop the recording?
So unless you follow Cassie, you'll know that one time she tried to make spaghetti squash, but she bought yellow squash instead. Like the yellow squash looks like zucchini. So she tried to make like spaghetti squash and meatballs. She's like, you like baked it and you're like, this isn't right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. And you had bought yellow squash. So I think
Okay.
I was dedicated. I was digging the seeds out of a zucchini because I thought it was spaghetti squash.
you're like, am I supposed to get more than this? How am I supposed to feed my family?
Why is it full of seeds? Whatever. That's how you'll
Oh, I
always remember me. I'm
always.
fine with it. Oh my gosh.
Should have written your name on it or drawn a picture of you.
I thought you were getting tequila. Okay, Cassie, can you press stop on the recording because you're the host?
Oh, I'm the host now? Okay.
Hostess.
There. Oh, did I get it?
I don't know. It's not a big deal.
I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, wait. Do you want to stop cloud recording?
Yes.